So this tutorial is going to go take everything we've learned thus far with lighting and look at our architectural project as one of the three examples. You're obviously going to put lights on your logo as well as your robot, but I think the main feature that's going to show off your architectural work is the lighting. So I got a quick scene here that I threw together, and to illuminate this scene we'll do a quick render, and notice that the ambient lighting's there. My background is black. Maybe I'm doing a nighttime scene. Well, I'm really not going to get into the nighttime scene just yet. But first thing I want to do is probably change my background. Now, to do that, we're going to go to the word rendering, and where it says environment, we're going to select that. Here we have the word background, color black. Let's change that to blue. But try to go with a very light blue, a sky blue, okay, and hit just close out of that. And what's going to happen is now when we render, we have a little bit of blue outside. Now we're going to work with putting illuminating lights in our windows so that we don't have to worry about the outside. But if you are doing the outside, that looks a little better. Now I also have my roof missing at this point because we're going to do cameras next, and you'll see the difference there. So now I'm going to go ahead and I want to get some light. The first thing I want to do is I want light to shine in through these windows. So to do that, over here in the scene I have two windows, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick Create Light Standard, and I'm actually going to do a target spot. I'm going to click out here because I want sun, and I'm going to target that thing into the room. Now I've also got to move my light source up so it's actually coming through the window. So I'm going to move it up here as if the sun's coming down through. Now watch when I do a render right off the bat. First thing is it looks like a spotlight. And second, it's actually ignoring the windows here. So one of the tricks that I have to do here, I have to look at my front view and notice, because I don't have a ceiling, this is going to be difficult to show you, but I'm going to move my light source down just so it's not coming in from the ceiling, but it is coming in through the windows. Again, I'm going to do a render. Now I've got the spot effect. That is very unrealistic. I actually want it to cast a shadow of these lights. So how do I do that? I go back in, select the light, go to modify. I'm going to select shadows, and I'm going to go with area shadows. Now I'm going to do a render in the perspective view. And what you're going to see here is just the light coming from the window is affected. Now, it obviously took a lot out of the scene. Let's try ray trace. Now, this is where ray trace is very, very helpful. I had said earlier it gives you that crisp, clean look. Notice how when the light comes in, it's actually affecting the slats in the windows. And it's showing on the floor and a little bit on the couch. Now that's great, but we can't see the rest of it. Don't worry, we're going to get there. We're going to put some fake ambient lighting in there. We'll use some omnis to light the room. But our main focus is to ensure that extra light is hitting these areas. So I'm going to actually go ahead and manipulate that light a little bit more. Okay, with it selected, I am going to go ahead and change the intensity to a little bit of yellow. So I want to give it a little bit of sunlight look to it. And you can even maybe overkill it. Go 2. We'll give that a shot. Do a quick render. Okay, so now it's really looking like it's a sunny day outside. You can actually see the light affecting on the hair. Now let's go ahead, select the light, and hold the control key to select the target. Then hold shift and let's clone that light so that it's coming in the other side. Okay, so now we have two different lights coming in through two different windows. Render it. Now look what happens. It looks as if we have two different lights shining in. This is very distracting. Sometimes you can achieve that appearance. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Now I'm going to take this one And I'm going to move it so that it splits the windows. But notice when I select it, my light is not affecting this. So I actually have to move this back and adjust this light. Okay, at this point, I can go into Spotlight Parameters, and these are some things we can change. We can go to Hotspot. We can also change it to a rectangle, and that might help so that we're getting inside the room. And if you notice when you adjust the hotspot, and I go to 50, it's actually widening the area affected by that spotlight. That might be a little much. Let's go back to 45 there. Okay. So, fall off is pretty much the area outside where the light begins to totally dissipate. So now I'm going to go ahead and render that. Now our light is way back here. So we also have to do some more adjusting. We may want to move that up here. And see how there's a lot of time involved in setting these lights up. Again, we're not trying to illuminate the whole room. We're just trying to get the illusion that those lights are coming in. Now we can say, all right, the sun is actually over here. And when we have a ceiling on, that ceiling will block out our lights. But you can get the feel for what we're doing here, depending on where you want your shadows to cast. All right, so that is part one of setting up our scene. In part two, we'll add some ambient lighting in here to get the rest of the effect.